We had some surprising decks out here for the very early side of Alliance Insight. Now make sure you guys smash the living crap out of that Add Ignister button so you guys don't miss out on more Oz content. When I saw Add Ignisters seeing play, or actually when I first initially saw the support, I was very excited because Add Ignister is one of my favorite combo decks. You know, I always loved the Link 6. There was all this cool stuff that you could do. But it just so happens that the Malice cards just happen to function better with the new Add Ignister stuff than old Add Ignister stuff would. And it kind of put this overshadowed presence on the deck and the TCG. It's like, why are you choosing to play Add Ignister when you're just losing out at this point? I kind of made me sad, but I was like, I understand this. But somebody came through. Somebody showed me the light out here. Somebody came up with an Add Ignister deck that actually performed out of a case tournament, and I really want to test this. I love the idea behind Add Ignister Pure. Basically, you're able to access how many flavors of Firewall Dragon do you want. Now, once again, we're not using the Code Talker Add Ignister Link 6. I know it's a really sad day because that was one of the cool sorts of boss monsters that we could see out here, but the TCG just has too many ways to handle a card like that. You're not really getting a good value measurement on establishing that boss monster. So seeing pure Add Ignister running around out here, being able to, you know, you're still going to use the backup Add Ignister stuff, but the deck finally has an identity. You finally have a way to truthfully play the deck in itself. And it took how many waves of support for this to actually happen? I know we got the second wave of support quite a long time ago with the Dark Infant, and it really put a smile on my face, but it really, I want more. I want Add Ignister. I always loved this deck. I wanted it to do so much more, and it really, we're here now. Now, Mitsurugi. Now, why is Mitsurugi getting an entire segment to itself? So, you had Pure Mitsurugi, Mitsurugi Odotic, and Mitsurugi Rizal. Those were kind of the three variants that we always were kind of looming around out here and appreciating. But some people don't like these variants. Some people don't like the Pure build, some people don't like the Odotic build, and some people aren't liking the Rizal build. We've seen a new camp of Mitsurugi decks come up, and it's Mitsurugi Fiendsmith. Now, if you've paid any attention to just how much the TCG loves their Fiendsmith combo out here, I feel like it was a natural progression of time that we would just try to take, oh boy, all extra free hand trap bait? Oh boy, extra free hand trap bait. Nothing screams, ah yes, sucks to suck that you blew your hand trap early, then going down full Fiendsmith combo, and then just getting blown out after you cut that part off by full Mitsurugi combo. Problem here is both lose to draw very, very hard. And unless they've got the Ameno set up, I feel like, truthfully, this is a cool idea on paper. It's a blowout if you actually see the droll touching down out here. But you do get creative points for uniqueness because not a lot of people have explored the idea of just gutting out the Rizal stuff and just building in the Fiendsmith cards. I also think that means that you should technically have a more consistent approach to things with this deck. Let's call it what it is. I mean, sometimes the Rizal cards suck, or sometimes it's oops, all one engine or the other when you play that build. Maybe it's just me, but that's kind of why, I don't know, I look at the Rizal Mitsurugi build and I'm like, ugh. Now we got Chimera over here. Chimera? What? This one absolutely took me by surprise too. Now, I will say, if you are the master of your craft, if you've played a deck for long enough, and you got the experience points and the grinds on this bad boy, you can overcome a lot of stuff. This was another case tournament deck that I saw show up, and I was like, okay, so first of all, Super Poly's a stupid card. I think we're all going to acknowledge the fact that no matter what cool board your opponent's going to set up, if you can Super Poly clean it on up, okay, cool, I don't have to deal with that shit anymore. But also, if Chimera goes first, You've also got the option to pull out the freaking Dark Barrier statue, which we've all seen that Water was using the Water Barrier statue. So why can't decks choose to play the Dark Barrier statue on the same vein? That was always something this deck could do. And also, you do have the ability to kind of ping cards out of your opponent's hand with Chimera. Granted, that's kind of... You can play the game on 4 cards anyway. It's like, oh no, you pinged a card out of my hand. Oh no, what am I supposed to do anyway? We're going to go ahead and we're going to combo on up and do all this other shenanigans as we're spinning right round on the wheel of life with this. I think this was a cool option, actually. But once again, I don't think that this is going to be a consistent creature. A lot of players do. You got to understand that when we're looking at the oddities out here, they are oddities, everybody. All right, those oddities sometimes can be recreated, but if they can be recreated consistently, then, well, you know, you would have a good deck. But that's why these are considered rogue picks, because when they do touch off of the ground, they are very mystical, and that's what really draws the lure and the attention to them, as the ooh and the ah, but that's why I like them. And then we had Mathemat Rizal. Okay. Well, first of all, I appreciate the fact that some of you are still holding on to Circular. Good job, everybody. I'm proud of you. All right. Circular coming back was, I think Circular would have done a lot more for the TCG had we had the possibility. Still having the Code Talker Link one. Honestly, if we had the Code Talker Link one, Circular would have probably been a broken card. But what we're actually seeing here with the Mathemat stuff is it's a rank 4 package, everybody. That's it. Call it a day. Rizal found a best friend in one of the worst chaotic places in the game. They found the ability to use Mathemat cards. Let's give it up, everybody. We all had an idea that this was popping around at the very beginning stages before Aelin. It just so happens that it's kind of generating a little bit of momentum right now, as kind of like an idea of, you know, people do want to try off all the different Rizal variants. There are a lot of people that just don't like the Mitsurugi build, and that's fine. You don't have to like the Mitsurugi stuff. Actually, I actually suggest people explore. If you don't like a certain build, try what you like. That's why I'm playing the Heraldic shit right now, because I like the hand loop stuff. Am I going to win every single game? No, not at all. All right, but I'm having fun while playing the engine and the package that I like, and that's what you want to be exploring with. You want to test the waters with these different builds, and you want success to come from that. All right, I do think that the Mathemat stuff is very, very cute for sure, but you've got all these Rizal variants now that you can test. You don't have to be bound. It's just this one popped up. I was like, oh, that's kind of cute. You know, you don't really see a lot of people talking about that. It was just kind of that, you know. Wash your hands and call it a day, everybody. You got some new shit same day. You know, it's kind of cool. And then Momento. Oh, God. So Memento's making on this list because holy shit, they have failed us. Memento has been dubbed kind of the North American version of Plans, where there was a will, there was a way. The TCG would try to find a way to make Memento work, which is odd because I always felt like it was the OCG that was doing that. But maybe more so in recent times, I felt like Memento was just kind of taking the driver's seat in the back over there, and they were trying to do things. Times have changed, everybody. There is no longer Memento in Bossing Say. It's over. Now, I think that you can still take Memento to locals, and you can still dominate with this, 100%. Actually, you still have people out there that don't even know what the hell Memento cards do. You know, they're going to read those cards for the first time. They're going to be like, this is freaking broken. They're not going to know where to choke point them. You're heading back into the point now where Memento is going to enter back into a deep sleep. And not saying that's a bad thing. It just means that the next time Memento wakes up out here, it's going to be a devastating swing through for the meta. And a lot of people are going to be surprised Pikachu faced out here when they have to deal with this. So for now, I think it's time to say night-night to Momento. Deck is still going to be here. All right, we're going to leave it in the rogue category. I honestly had hoped that Momento would perform a little bit better than it has, but it looks like we're going night-night. Kind of a sad day to see that, but that's okay. So what do you guys think about all of this interesting stuff going on with these cool decks? Please leave a comment down below. Tell me what you guys think, and I will see your beautiful faces back here in the day, guys. Peace. patrons. Thank you.
Thank you so much for watching. Check out these other videos.